It's been 3 weeks since I've chosen to be sober. It's officially been 3 weeks without being high or smoking weed or anything like that. Well, 3 weeks and 4 days officially. In another 4 days, it's gonna be 4 weeks. In 4 days, I'll be 4 weeks of sobriety after 9 years of drug use. And so, it feels great. I feel good. I truly do feel good, and I feel good. But this is not what the video is about. I'm gonna start calling out names. And I'm gonna start saying my problem or the problem. So, on YouTube there's a lot of influencers. And many types of different influencers of all types. And I'm just so sick and fucking tired of these Weedtubers. I'm gonna start calling out names. I'm gonna start hurting feelings. But someone's gotta do it, Someone has to. Somebody has to start calling out names. Alright. So the problem with Weedtubers is they thrive off of people, like-minded individuals, of their content to sustain their living, to keep doing what they're doing, all because of you guys. Sorry, my mind's a bit scrambled today, but I'm just freestyling for the fuck of it, for the fuck of it, for the video. But yeah, YouTubers like Fulcrum, Mr. THC, Dope Ass Yola. I can name more, but those 3 specific YouTubers, they're not doing any good for the community. They're not doing any good for the youth. And I'm calling them out. I'm calling out all those YouTubers that like to make weed content and stuff. The problem I have with those YouTubers is that they run game on y'all. They run game on y'all just by off of your views, And it's sad too because they get a lot of views. They get a lot of support. They get a lot of support from people that do the same shit. And I'm just so sick and tired of those content creators taking advantage of their viewers. I'm sick and tired of it. And it's so easy to take advantage of them because they're doing the same thing or they're doing the same thing that they're promoting on their content, you know. So of course you're gonna come back and try to see those same type of videos. One, you're not evoluting the community, you're not evoluting the youth, you're keeping them stuck and still off of habits that don't even evolute them as a person, you know. And it's sad too, because they just stay stuck in that cycle, that same cycle of addiction, you know. I know a lot of people are gonna say that they have full control of their habit, or that they're not addicted to what they do because they have everything in their life under control. They say that they have a job, they say they have their house, they have their, you know, everything they need for them to be just to, you know, everything they need. And it's sad too, because they're blinded by that. They're blinded by them telling themselves that, oh, I smoke weed, but it's not bad for me because I have everything under control, you know. I have my house, I have my job, I have my money. But yet you still rely on that. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate because people are gonna say, oh, I like it, I like to smoke weed, I like to do this, I like to do that, you know, I just love smoking weed. Or they say that they need it, or that they need it because they have anxiety or depression, or they'll just come up with some sort of excuse to keep doing that habit. And so, and it's not, and it's sad too, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. People are gonna hate on me for trying to calling me out, saying I'm a control freak, or I'm trying to implement a vision onto someone else. But that's not gonna work on me. I can see past the bullshit. It's sad. It hurts me, and it saddens me to see people staying stuck on a habit, you know, like that they're stuck on just smoking weed. That's what they look forward to, and that's not what life is about, bro. They'll come up with so much excuses for them to keep doing what they do, just so they can get that feeling again. And you can see it, you know, with these YouTubers. They like to smoke weed, bro. They like to get high. They like to intoxicate themselves. They make content purely off of that. And that's why I despise them, because they make content that doesn't really evolute the human race. Just look at his name, Dope as Yola. He's a fucking dope head, bro. He's a fucking he's a legal trapper. He's selling HHC products that anybody can order online. Anybody anywhere in the states of the United States of America can order weed or legal weed to their doorstep. And he makes content about that. And that content is just gonna influence young minds to want to try that, or to want to mimic that, want to try that, because that's what weed is advertised as. It makes you smoke weed, you get high, it makes you happy, it makes you hungry, it makes you feel good, it gets rid of your depression, it takes away your anxiety. That's what it's advertised as. And I'm just tired of the bullshit, I'm tired of the bullshit, and it's really pissing me off, because I was a victim to that. I would always watch the Weedtubers when I was a teenager. I would always watch the Weedtubers, I would just watch all the Weedtubers. And that would motivate me to want to do that stuff that they're doing, because, damn, they're smoking weed. I want to do that too, They look cool, but it's sad because you're not leading them to a right direction, This video is gonna probably sound pretty weird and pretty scattered, but I'm just freestyling it, and I'm just trying to say this from I'm just using pure emotion right now. I'm not really saying things logically, I'm just really calling the bullshit out. And it's time to people to wake up from that bullshit. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to lead the youth somewhere. Nobody's doing it. And so, don't fall for these YouTubers that make these weed videos and stuff, like Fulcrum, Dope as Yola, Goblin, who else? Mr. THC, Eric Khan, that Asian dude that likes to get high and stuff. Eric Khan, him as well. Fuck it. Also, Young Mike, I fuck with it. I guess it's cool. His music sounds a little bit cool, but still, he makes weed content, and that's how you attract the views. It's by making weed content. And there's so many people that are trapped under that, and it sucks, man. Like, I really wish people can wake up from that. Life is not really just about smoking weed or doing drugs. It's not. It's about discovering things in your life, discovering things about yourself, not numbing yourself by giving yourself an exterior feeling, a feeling outside of yourself, or a feeling that's not even, man, I wish I could find the word for it, but that's not what life is about. Life is not about smoking weed. It's not. Life is about discovering things about yourself and discovering things outside of yourself. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate because people will say the excuse that they can fit their drug use or their weed use into their daily lives, but that's still considered a spiritual cancer. I consider any form of drug use, especially if you're doing it every day, you're trapped. You're a pawn. Look, I'm not gonna be the crazy one to tell you to stay away from drugs, because all drugs have their purposes. They have their tools. You can either use the tool for its use, or you can use that tool to hurt yourself. You know, it's like a hammer. You can use it to build a house, or you could just simply hit yourself with it and others too with that hammer. It's like a gun as well. You get a gun for your safety, you know, to protect yourself. You don't get a gun. You don't get a gun to cause harm and to shoot others. So, I can't stop you from doing what you're doing, but all I can tell you is just realize what you're doing. I don't really have the words to express the feelings I have for, or the hatred I have for people who take advantage of people, of their use, of their drug use. But I'll make more videos. I'll make more videos in the future, and hopefully I can get my thoughts together and express what I need to express. Thank you for watching.